I've been living with Nat. I've been staying at hers because she lives a lot closer to work.
If it's so platonic and you're just friends, why would you have to lie to me about it and tell me you're living with your parents?
I think that she has a financial hold on you that's making you feel some sort of way.
No, I don't. That offends me.
Here's the thing with long-distance virtual relationships, right? You might, like Elise, spend months talking to someone. You might think that you know them, only to find out when you actually meet them that you don't know them at all. That is exactly what's about to happen to Elise today, and you best believe she doesn't like what she discovers, and she's not afraid to make a scene. So let's rewind to the start and pick up with Elise and Joshua, where at the moment things are actually going quite well, kind of.
I am a needy bitch, especially when I'm sick. I need my man to attend to me like a golden retriever puppy, like running, like catching a ball. Joshua does that.
Most women looking for serious relationships look for emotional maturity. Elise wants a dedicated puppy dog. Now remember, the plan had been for Joshua to sleep on the couch. The pair had decided before Elise came to Australia that they'd take the physical part of their relationship slow. They wouldn't share a bed. But, they tell us, after Elise started to have coughing fits throughout the night, Joshua climbed into her bed to play nurse, and that, it turns out, is the fastest way to Elise's heart. Now, they do stress that for the time being at least, the whole celibacy thing is still intact. But as Joshua now makes Elise breakfast in bed, he throws her a curveball by introducing her to the Australian favourite, Vegemite.
Stop!
Is it good? It's not bad.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Ew.
Funny, that's a good metaphor for their entire relationship, isn't it? She's reacting to Vegemite in exactly the same way that she'll eventually react to all of Josh's secrets. Despite Josh's attempts to convince her it's not that bad, Elise's response is, ew, I don't like it. Now, in all fairness to Elise, Vegemite is an extremely acquired taste. It's made of yeast extract that many people find far too overpowering. But if we choose to look at the positives, at least Joshua's intentions were good. Like Elise tells us, in comparison to the men that she's been with before, a guy that not only nurses her through the night but also makes her breakfast in bed the next morning is like hitting the jackpot for her. That's essentially her love language. So when the couple head to the beach later on that morning, Elise wants to start pushing through the surface level. She wants to break down more of Joshua's barriers.
There's a lot of sexual chemistry there. We're so touchy-feely, but he seems a little reserved. So I'm just trying to feel him out.
It's interesting how Elise seems to be mistaking not knowing her partner for depth. Is Joshua, remember, the guy that stole his company boat, took it on a joyride and crashed it, really as reserved as Elise is trying to make out? Or is it just that she doesn't know him and all of his secrets all that well? Now, in fairness to her, she is right about their physical chemistry. It's obvious to everyone around them. Like, they've barely kept their hands off each other since she's arrived. But beneath that, scratch the surface, and there seems to be a gut feeling that Elise has. Something that she can't quite put her finger on. So when she asks Joshua why it is that he's the way he is, he brings up his ex, a lady that he was in a 7-year relationship with.
She just wanted me to be, super successful. And I was constantly being told if I wasn't, she would walk away.
So his ex, he says, wanted him to be successful. Wow, he really showed her, didn't he? Look at him, now almost 40 years old and still financially incapable of renting his own apartment without the help of his friends. Like, after 7 years of emotional pressure, his takeaway appears to not be I'll improve, but rather be I'll find someone with lower standards. Cough, cough, Elise. Now, whether the crashed company boats, the couch surfing and the general chaos of his life is all a byproduct for 7 years of having to walk on eggshells, like perhaps this is him loosening the reins a little and going a bit wild, or whether this is just who he is. Joshua now feels with Elise as if he's found someone that can match his energy, and he's not afraid to let that be known.
You made me feel safe already.
Really?
That's like an early call. So hopefully I do the same thing.
I feel safe with you too.
Funny that, isn't it? Funny how he feels safe with a woman that he's been lying to this entire time. Now, we'll get to his lies shortly, but on the face of it, you can kind of see why these two are optimistic about their relationship. Like, there's plenty of common ground here. Like, they've both been burnt badly enough in the past that they see each other as their safe space. And of course, again, the physical side of things is undeniable. Like, when they make it back to their apartment, that pact that they had that they'd get to know each other emotionally first before physically gets thrown out the window. Like, this appears to be Elise's reward for Joshua for doing good today. He opened up to her, they got a little personal, and heck, he didn't bring his friend Chris along. So after getting hot and steamy in the shower together, Josh offers Elise a massage. He pulls out the candles, the wine and the massage oil and begins, no doubt in his head, counting down the minutes until he can get her into bed and the whole celibacy thing is over. Like, it seems an inevitable outcome, a sure thing, doesn't it? Surely nothing can derail that now, can it?
Guys. What the are you doing?
That look on Joshua's face as Chris walks in is fantastic, isn't it? That's a real oh shit moment. Like, serious rookie mistake leaving the front door unlocked knowing that you've got a roommate. Now, Chris raises the completely logical point. Why on earth would you guys choose to do this, have a steamy massage, in the communal living room rather than in the privacy of your own bedroom? And while this is yet more proof of Joshua's bad decision making, his response to Chris is, in his own words, quote, he was blind with lust. Like, clearly he was thinking with his little head rather than his big one. So, packing up her bra, the candles, the wine and the massage oil, Joshua and an extremely embarrassed Elise relocate to the bedroom. And when we join them the next morning, it's clear the mood wasn't completely killed. They picked up where they left off.
I can't believe after 6 months I had sex. I feel like I'm not a virgin anymore. Like, I'm a little mad at myself that I should have waited longer, but it felt right.
Now, given that Elise previously told us that she's been sexually active since high school, that whole virgin comment makes me seriously question if she actually understands what that word means. Now, she seems to want her flowers for waiting 6 months to sleep with the man that she's been in a long-distance relationship with for 6 months. Having only met him in person a day ago, within around 24 hours, her whole intention of abstinence has completely disintegrated. And while she seems to have some regrets about that, those regrets, her concerns, only get worse when, over pillow talk, Elise starts questioning Joshua about his living situation. And that is when she discovers who his real roommate is. And it's not Chris.
I've been living with Nat. I've been staying at hers because she lives a lot closer to work.
If it's so platonic and you're just friends, why would you have to lie to me about it and tell me you're living with your parents?
Crazy how he had to wait until he had sex with her before telling her who he actually lives with. I mean, talk about timing. What a way, what a place to break that news to her. Now, while Joshua clarifies that he did used to live with Chris and he did briefly live with his parents as well, since moving out from his parents, he's lived with his friend Nat at her apartment. Like, you'd think that moving in with another woman would be crucial information that you shared with your partner. But I guess maybe it just slipped his mind. Like, it's telling that even now, he didn't voluntarily share it with Elise. She had to practically drag it out of him. And to that end, she brings up the very valid point. If there's nothing to hide, why then did you hide it? And in response to that, Joshua just keeps reiterating that he didn't think it matters. My friendship with Nat is completely innocent, he keeps telling her.
I would treat exactly the same as I do Chris, you know.
Like, do you guys like share a bathroom? Like, does she see you naked? Like how does that work? Why is that funny?
Yeah, I mean, it's no wonder that Elise is worried. If his friendship with Nat is as equal as his friendship with Chris, as he's saying here, then presumably there's a portrait of her hanging above his bed back at her place. Like, Elise, as we've seen, is a very jealous, emotional person anyway, at the best of times, right? Like, this very important information that he's been hiding from her for all this long is more than enough to have her thinking the worst. But, Elise, even if she had seen him naked, I don't think Josh's track record particularly indicates that he'd be honest about it with you right now. So why didn't you tell me that you live with another woman? Elise demands to know.
Maybe it was a part of me, you know, not wanting you to get jealous and back out of this before you got here.
How do I know
when
you're telling me the truth?
That's your job to believe me, and it's my job to prove it to you.
What a response that is. Like, he's just dropped a bombshell on her, right? Elise has just discovered that her boyfriend has been lying to her this whole time, and yet when asked how she can now trust him, his response is, well, that's your job to believe me. Keep in mind, he has also in previous episodes told us, although not Elise, that he has some skeletons in his closet that she doesn't know about, and that his intention is for her to fall in love with him first before he reveals them. Like, your mind boggles at what else he might actually be hiding. Now, as it turns out, Joshua is taking Elise to meet his friends today, including Nat. Like, perhaps that's why he chose to tell Elise about Nat this morning ahead of their meeting. Maybe he didn't want that information accidentally coming to light over the course of their conversation. Now, when we join them later on that day, when the two ladies do eventually come face to face, it's clear there is immediately quite a weird vibe between them. Like, Josh's female friends, including Nat, are quite judgmental about Elise.
She comes across very Miami.
Like a lot of skimpy clothes,
Yeah.
right? Very skimpy,
Yeah.
but gorgeous.
Like, this is skimpy for us.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Very skimpy
Yeah,
for
correct,
Sydney,
correct,
right?
Yeah, that did come across as a little judgmental, didn't it? We wouldn't wear anything that skimpy, but if that's what she wants to do, that's her decision. I mean, it's a very fine line between a compliment and a backhanded insult, isn't it? Now, in fairness, it is a very revealing outfit that Elise is wearing, one that's probably more suitable for going out clubbing than going out for a meal at a restaurant, as indeed they all are. So as they wait for their mains to be served, Elise takes the opportunity to begin quizzing Nat. Tell me, she says, how exactly did Josh living with you come about, Nat?
To be honest, I was going through a bit of a rough time, and I needed I needed comfort. I needed someone there to shoulder to cry on. So it worked out well.
Look, Nat's story sounds innocent enough. She was in a bad place, she was hurting, so her close friend Joshua supported her in her time of need. Like, that is precisely what friends do, and both of them have been consistent about the fact that they're good friends. Now, the problem is, for someone as jealous as Elise is, I've got no doubt that that prospect, the fact that her boyfriend was another woman's shoulder to cry on, doesn't sit well with her. And of course, added to that is the fact that Josh has kept this secret from her for so long. Like, no doubt, both of those things together, the fact that she had to physically arrive in Australia and pry before any of this was volunteered to her, now has alarm bells ringing in Elise's head. And she wants to make her position very clear.
I don't think that guys and girls can be friends without hooking up. I've tried that. It's never succeeded
Oh, no,
for me.
I have so many guy friends. I wouldn't ever sleep with Josh. He's my brother to me.
I think of Eliza and insecurities.
Look, Elise's stance is quite narrow-minded, right? Just because she's had no success keeping her hands off male friends, that doesn't mean that the rest of the world work that way. Like, her own lack of self-control isn't a universal rule. Either way, Elise's tunnel vision here quickly escalates beyond questioning male and female friendships and onto something a lot more specific and sinister. You don't have much money, she says to Joshua, so that leaves you very vulnerable to Nat.
I think that she has a financial hold on you that's making you feel some sort of way.
No, I don't. No, that offends me.
Yeah, that's a very big accusation for Elise to make, isn't it? Financial hold makes it sound like Nat has sinister motives. It makes it seem like she has Josh on a leash, bending over backwards to please her in a bid to have a roof over his head. But is that true? I mean, that's one hell of an accusation to make. That's one hell of a leap, considering she's only just met the lady. Like, while she's clearly feeling threatened, while she's immediately defaulted to worst case scenario, the truth is, Elise knows precisely nothing about the true nature of Joshua's relationship with Nat. Now, the bulk of the blame, despite it being directed at Nat here, does in fact lie with Joshua. He should have been honest with his girlfriend a long time ago, and while he now takes the opportunity to apologise for that, while he continues to assure Elise that she's got completely the wrong end of the stick here, Elise remains entirely unconvinced.
Something's fishy, something's shady. I don't want my boyfriend getting financially supported by another girl. That's disgusting and weird. Like, that's not what I signed up for.
Look, I get it. I understand why Elise is suspicious. But before jumping to conclusions and making accusations, before feeling jealous that it's another woman who's financially supporting her man, maybe she should do a little bit of digging and work out what the real situation is here. Could there be something sinister and deceptive going on? Could there be more to Nat and Joshua than they're telling us? Well, yeah, I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, but it could also just be friendship. I mean, judging by how hurt Nat appears to be by these accusations, that's what my gut instinct tells me it is. That's what I'm inclined to believe. And that being the case, Elise would be well advised to rein in her jealousy before she ruins a friendship and ends up becoming herself the person her boyfriend is financially dependent on.